Up next on End of the Day Beer Review, we're going to be looking at Captain Gus and the Glorious Purpose. This is a double IPA coming in at 8.5% ABV by Gusto Brewing Company. Check it out. Hi everybody, it's Rich and welcome to End of the Day Beer Review. I was lucky enough the other day to drive down to Cape May, New Jersey, particularly North Cape May, New Jersey, to go to Gusto Brewing Company, where I did my annual May 4th pickup. Hopefully you saw the review of that beer. And I'm going to look at another one today. This is Captain Gus and the Glorious Purpose. This is a double IPA coming in at 8.5% ABV. Now it does say Gusto and Friends Comic Club, North Cape May, New Jersey. And quite honestly, I love the label art on this. Gusto has a mascot called Gus. It's I think it's a walrus. And they made a really cool sort of like play on a superhero there. I hope the camera's picking it up. So I always do love the names and the can art that Gusto puts out. Now, my problem is that I am not the biggest fan of IPAs, the entire style. Now, I've had really good luck with Gusto Brewing Company because they make IPAs and double IPAs where the fruit flavor really comes out more than the overwhelming bitterness that I normally get from one of these. So let's crack this open. I do have an IPA glass, which to me just looks sort of like a stout glass with a little bit of a wavy bottom. No idea the purpose behind that, and not looking it up on the internet because, it is what it is. So let's give this a pour. And, this pours a nice sort of milky yellow. Sort of reminds me of pineapple juice out of the can, like that old Dole pineapple juice that nowadays you can't even use for like a drink mixer. So my pour sucked. Okay, I want to make that clear. Way too hard. And so I have like 2.5 to 3 fingers of head here. The aroma on this is beautiful. I'm getting all sorts of tropical citrus fruit, pineapple, some orange, I think some lemon. Yeah, there's all of that. Now there is an aroma of hoppiness here. That actually is not overwhelming, and normally that aroma is sort of a turnoff to me. But once again, Gusto sort of layers the flavors and the nose on their beer in such a way that it does appeal to my palate. So I'm not being like overwhelmed by the hoppiness. In fact, normally I say that sort of IPA aroma is sort of like. The aroma of like cat urine, if you will. But there's none of that here. Instead, it sort of has this sort of great fruity, sort of juicy aroma to it. A little bit of hoppiness, but nothing overwhelming, nothing that's going to turn off the non-IPA person. All right, let's give it a try. To me, this is like a citrus sort of festival. But there's sort of a weird thing on the back end that I like a lot too. It's almost like a weediness. So, all right, I'm getting some orange. I'm definitely getting pineapple. I want to also say I'm getting a little bit of grapefruit. Now, normally with an IPA, the back of my tongue is coated in this bitter, bitter taste. There's none of that. This is incredibly smooth. And if I'm not mistaken, is it 8.5? It's 8.5% ABV. And I swear to you, if it wasn't that this tasted so good, and it would be just an absolute travesty to do it, you could chug this thing and you would never know there was alcohol in it. And that's an 8.5% ABV drink. Now, this is, to me, one of the earmarks of a great brewery. I just reviewed their stout Out There in a Galaxy Far, Far Away, which is sort of an imperial stout they do that also comes in at a really high ABV. No alcohol. You can't taste it. For me, the sign of true greatness in a brewery is that you're not getting the alcohol burn, that instead the other flavors of the beer are coming forward. And in this case, you're getting all of that citrus, all of that sort of tropical juiciness from the beer, and you're getting none of the alcohol burn and none of that sort of like bitter hoppiness on the back. This is outstanding. It has a fruit juice quality to it that makes you almost want to gulp it, and I'm sort of fighting that urge. Now, I've drank a good amount of this beer, maybe a third. There's no burn. There's no alcohol burn whatsoever. This is just beautiful. Now, I could see this as an everyday drinker in the summer. Not a lot of them, obviously, maybe one at the end of the day or something like that. But this is just like a wonderful, wonderful beer. Now, you know, I'm the biggest fan of Gusto Brewing Company. I think they are fantastic. The guys who run it are really, really nice guys. Actually, their entire staff is really, like, just wonderful. And, you know, like, I have to say, what's drawn me to them has been, over and over again, they're able to surprise you with a genre of beer or an offset of beer that you think you're not going to like, and they make it so it is approachable for everyone. So, you know, Captain Gus and the Glorious Purpose, this was released also on May 4th with their May 4th Stout. Quite honestly, I would travel for this beer, and I'm saying that about a double IPA. And IPAs are definitely not my thing. So this is really just a wonderful, wonderful beer. One that I would take anytime, you know, for any reason. It's just a good drinking beer. So again, Captain Gus and the Glorious Purpose. If there's a double IPA out there you think I should try, please throw the name down below. I'll give it a shot. If you are in North Cape May, New Jersey, I would definitely check out Gusto. I am not, by the way, sponsored in any way by Gusto. I drive down there, pay for the gas myself, buy the beer. I will admit that they do throw in a couple of extra 4-packs here or there, which I am super appreciative of, but they have never once said, hey, you know, make sure you give us a good review. In fact, they have just been really, really cool guys all along, and I actually love talking beer to them. They still seem excited by beer, which I really love because I'm still sort of excited about beer. Anyway, folks, I hope you've enjoyed the review. If you get a chance, I would check this out. If not, throw the name of a double IPA in the comments down below that you think I should check out, and I'll do my best to get a hold of it. And I will see you next time on End of the Day Beer Review. Hope you enjoyed it. Cheers. No, I didn't. Okay, I'm going to do it again. 3, 2, 1. Up next on End of the Day Beer Review, we're going to be looking at Captain Gus and the Glorious Purpose. This is a... Yeah, it is Purpose. I thought it was Porpoise for a second. Wow, this is all going to go at the end of the video. All right, let's try it one last time. Up next on End of the Day Beer Review, we're going to be looking at Captain Gus and the Glorious Purpose. This is a double IPA coming in at 8.5% ABV, and this is brewed and packaged by Gusto Brewing Company. Check it out.